Welcome back to Talkville, folks. The ultimate Smallville rewatch podcast where each week we go back. We got a special guest in the studio, and that's Tom Welling. He's here. He flew all the way out to see me, Ryan, and virtually Bryce.
That's not true, but while I was in town, I thought I'd come by.
Yeah. Son of a bitch. This is episode 1 of season 6. We've come a long way. And we're here because of you. I want to thank all the patrons for supporting us. It's crazy. Yeah, we really thank you. We have a new tier too. It's the what's it called, Bryce?
It's the Grand Tier.
It's the Grand Tier, and there's some extra cool stuff there. So you want to check it out. There's live episode viewings with us. There's certain special merch that only you will get signed from me and Tom. So there's a lot of cool perks. So
Extra exclusivity.
Yeah, it's just cool. And, we're only doing, we're going one season at a time. So who knows how long this will last, but we're having a good time doing it. If you didn't get a chance to call in our hotline, leave a question for this episode, make sure you do it for future ones. All that information is in the show's description. We appreciate you. And just a couple other things. It's the new year. So happy freaking New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
We're starting out strong. And if you didn't get a fart book, Rosie's, the talented farter, please get the fart book. It's on Amazon and it's good for everyone, adults, kids. I sent you a couple.
Yeah.
I have a video of you and your
I don't know what
kids.
happened to the first one you sent me, and I mentioned that you sent
Your
me a
kid
second
probably-
one, and now I have it.
Yes.
But, yeah.
Yeah. So I love that.
And now all I do is send you videos of that kind of stuff on Instagram now.
Yeah. And Rosie's Puppy Fresh Breath. If your dog's breath smells like crap, get some Rosie's Puppy Fresh Breath on Amazon. Just put a capful in your dog's water. And also our talkvillepodcast.com. All the merch. There's great merch. The posters, it's cool. I love going to these cons and seeing our friends, our patrons wearing like Talkville or Who's That? Or
I was in Germany
Hand Blast.
3 days ago, and honestly, like at least 10 people had Talkville shirts on, and
freaking love
it's just a whole different energy because you're just like, oh, yay, what's your handle?
I know. It's awesome.
Opens up the conversation.
Another cool thing is you need to get tickets for the Smallville cruise in June.
Yep.
It's Cruiseville, it's called. Go to cruiseville.com, I guess. But Tom and I are going to be there. Laura Vandervoort, Erica Durance, John Glover, maybe others. You could do excursions with
Adrian
us.
Padalecki.
Is she coming?
Yep.
Is it guaranteed?
That's what I heard.
I love it. Adrian Padalecki. Look, if you want to go swimming with pigs with me, or do a tequila.
Or swimming with Michael.
Or yes, doing a tequila adventure tasting with me and Tom, or sit in a cabana and hang out with us. There's Smallville nights. Get tickets for that. There's poker. There's
Mayan Ruins.
There's
jet skiing.
Karaoke with
zip
me.
Zip lining with Erica.
So get your tickets now. It could be the only time we ever do this. It's going to be I've never been on a cruise, so you're going to see me freak out.
There's been a lot that's developed in 6 seasons. In season 1, you guys didn't have a cruise, a fart book, any of this.
Yeah. Well, in season 1, I didn't have a fart book. I didn't have Rosie's Puppy Fresh Breath. We didn't have a cruise. We didn't have a Smallville con. Now we have a Smallville con later next year in Chicago. Get tickets for that too. That's Creation Con, Smallville Convention.
That's a big one.
That's a big one. Ryan, you going to be there again?
I will.
Yes.
I love Chicago.
You'll pay for yourself this time. That was
a
costly freaking ticket.
I will. I'll drive myself.
All right, without further ado, let's get into season 6, episode 1. This is called ZOD. Title ZOD aired September 28, 2006. Director James Marshall. Writer Stephen S. DeKnight. Guest star Aaron Ashmore as Jimmy Olsen. Pascal Hutton as Raya. Leonard Roberts as Namek. Terrence Stamp as the voice of Jor-El. Clark is faced with the challenge of battling his way out of the Phantom Zone in order to save the ones he loves and the world itself from the doomsday plan in action by the Zod-inhibited Lex Luthor.
After a quick recap of the season 5 finale, we revisit Lex getting probed, Clark being put in a picture frame, Lana turning to the dark side, Chloe being mobbed, and Lois nosediving in an airplane. Next, we jump cut to Clark aimlessly wandering around the dusty Phantom Zone, left helpless to return to Earth to save the world. He suddenly begins getting his ass kicked by imprisoned Kryptonians until Raya helps save him before also kicking his ass.
Where did you film that?
Or his face,
that was
really.
so cool.
It was a quarry out in the middle of nowhere. And, one of the things I was going to ask you about is there's the 2 months that you have off between the seasons. you kind of run around, do whatever you do, right? And you come back, and I don't know if you've felt this, but I always felt like it took like a week to get up to speed again.
Oh, yeah, you felt like just lethargic.
You just like,
and like I
you're
can't
not as
do
quick
this,
and sharp and this and that.
And you know you have 21 episodes left.
Right. And what I loved about this is the first thing we shot was out in this quarry where I'm just like Lawrence of Arabia or something like, and I'm like, this is great. There's not a lot of talking. I'm like building up my endurance again.
Your
to all
energy,
this.
Your brain getting sharper.
Yeah. So it was,
so cool.
I really enjoyed this. And all these actors were really great. They all really embraced sort of the absurdity of the reality of what we were doing for this idea of this phantom zone that none of us really understood. So I remember sitting there and Natalie, like I'm all full of dirt.
Makeup artist.
Yeah, our makeup artist. And I was sitting on a chair and I was eating sunflower seeds. I remember she comes up and she looks at me and she just kind of goes, I don't know what this is, but you look great. And I was like, well, thank you.
Yeah.
And she didn't mean it like in a
yeah. No, I know.
But she just meant like, just go with it.
I loved
you
how
look
chapped
fine.
your lips were, but then when you come out, your lips aren't chapped anymore.
Right.
That was cool. Back amongst the chaos in Metropolis, we see Lionel and Chloe getting their ass kicked until Luther Corp security finally decides to make an appearance 6 seasons in and rescue the both of them. Back on the Luther Corp, top of Luther Corp, Lex introduces himself as ZOD to Lana as she pleads for him to put an end to the chaos. And when Chloe and Lionel arrive to meet the new couple, ZOD grabs Lana and takes flight. I thought that was cool.
It also made me think like, okay, so Lex is ZOD and Lana's like, okay, cool. How do I do that? How do I work with this? And I'm like, Clark really should have just told her. It's a lot easier to accept a Clark Kent than a ZOD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, as this like we're season 6 now, and as it's like still going on, it's hard for me to just go with Clark just continuing to lie to everybody. It's getting harder to do.
I think Lana knows.
She has to. This poor girl.
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense that like if she could see spaceships and she could see people flying and stuff, why is it so weird to think maybe Clark's got something going on? But we need to
because her whole thing
suspenders of disbelief.
I think the biggest for her character's character, he won't tell her, and that's the difference.
Yeah,
ZOD is like, I'm ZOD. What's up?
Lionel and Chloe return to Luther Corp office to figure out what the F is going on and create a plan to find Clark to take out ZOD. To make matters worse, Lionel has lost his Kryptonian spidey sense and is no longer connected to Jor-El.
Trenchcoat ZOD pulls Lana into an inconspicuous hangar and shows her his big black spaceship. Lana tries to speak to the Lex deep down inside, but ZOD is insistent on putting an end to the human race and resurrecting Krypton. He tells her she has a role in his evil plan and tells her there is no escaping what's about to happen.
Maybe I should, for charity, I should put my ZOD coat.
Do you have that? Oh my God.
See it on there?
Look at that. If you ever moved back to New York and became like a theater guy, you could wear that.
I could wear that. I could. I hope you enjoyed that. I think the fans will like that.
That's cool.
Next, we catch up with Martha and Kent and Lois Lane. If you thought there was no way a private small jet could survive a free fall from 30,000 feet up, you would be surprised. They're totally fine and just stranded on top of a mountain. Good news, though. Fine conveniently crash landed next to the Fortress of Solitude. That's what I was thinking. I was like, why? Or maybe Jor-El made that happen. Maybe we got us suspenders.
I didn't really catch that until you brought it up.
All of a sudden they land right near the Fortress of Solitude, which is impossible
to get to. So why would ZOD
unless
bring them there? Because he wants the knife?
Well, no, because he wants to tell Martha, like, tell her what's going on, and like he can't help, and only you could do this, and so I don't know. Martha pulls.
So the plane was going down, and Jor-El sort of like tractor beam it over.
Maybe. Martha pulls Lois inside the fortress and has a heart-to-heart with Jor-El. Listen to me, Martha. You need to make love to John Glover's character. Martha learns that because Clark couldn't kill Lex, he in turn damaged the fortress and is now banished forever. Jor-El tells her she must find the dagger. You must find the dagger and take out Lex in order to save the world.
Over in the Phantom Zone, Raya tells Clark all about his makeshift Guantanamo Bay that Jor-El has created for criminal Kryptonians. She shows off her cool Kryptonian chain and explains that she was Jor-El's assistant, in quotes.
I remember her being really cool because some of the stuff she had to say was so ridiculous.
Yeah.
With no prior experience on the show.
I know.
But she was really good. I just remember her. I'm just remembering like, You're doing it. You got it.
Good job.
Leaning in. Clark pleads for her help to take out Zod, even if it means risking their life.
Back in the Daily Planet, Chloe is catching up on her Kryptonian studies when she is interrupted by a fellow employee. She greets him by firing off a shot before being enamored by his boyish good looks, and we get introduced to Jimmy Olsen and learn about their previous fling.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, old Aaron Ashmore.
Mm-hmm.
Zod brings Lana back to the Luthor mansion and shares Lex's fondness for her, and goes hacker mode and starts working on targeting the Pentagon with his virus. After learning about his plan to reshape Earth into Krypton with a global pulse, Lana whips out a staff on him and attempts to go crouching tiger. Zod tells her that he plans to get an heir out of her and seals the deal by stabbing her through the hand. Romantic.
Yeah,
so you do it. in
That
Krypton.
was not. I had a hard time watching. I have a hard time watching hands get stabbed. I don't think that's.
It doesn't bother
abnormal.
me.
Have you ever seen that thing on the internet where they put your hand behind a cloth, right? But you can see a hand, but you can't see your hand. It's like a scientific thing. So there's a hand there,
Oh no!
and then they hit it with a knife or a hammer, and you know it's not your hand.
Oh, fuck.
But because of the visual, whatever happens in your body, everybody freaks out. Like it's
Well,
not
you
your
know,
hand.
you could put your hand on wood and just punch it as hard as you can, and it's no pain. No, I'm not kidding. You don't believe me?
So these are two things we're not going to try right now.
you never seen this?
Oh,
But
Can't feel it.
well, what else are you gonna put?
Son of a bitch! no, I'm kidding. But don't do it at home. Go
I
ahead,
feel
Ryan.
like that's your pickup line.
I'll take it up. Back in Dune, Clark and Raya venture the Phantom Zone until they are jumped by criminals, Namek and Aether, and that he banished the previous season. Instead of killing Clark, they stop when Raya explains that Clark has the power to free them. Martha returns to the Kent farm to find the dagger waiting on the barn floor. Lionel rushes in to check on the senator and tells her that he understands that he must kill Lex. Lana shows up wanting to kill Lex and asks where Clark is. The Manson Three devise a plan to get close enough to Zod to finish the job. Yeah, it's like you think, Lana's going to do it. Lana's going to have to kill Lex. It's very hard for her, but it's not Lex. So
I like the idea that you're not really sure what's going on in this episode.
Zod returns home from his field trip to the Pentagon to find his bride to be waiting. She sweet talks him to try to get his guard down, even though he has no hair. Zod is surprised that Lana would consensually give him an heir. That rhymed. They take things to the couch, allowing Lana to pull out the Kryptonian dagger and lunge at him. Zod is one step ahead and throws Lana across the room, delivering even more CTE. What's CTE?
that's the concussion thing. I don't remember what it stands for, but it's the stuff that football players get.
Oh.
And Lana Lang has, for sure.
Bryce, what do you think of all this stuff? Are you enjoying this episode?
Yeah, I like this episode. I think when Tom mentioned like a couple episodes back about how Lana could potentially be playing Lex, I didn't think about it too much, but after watching all this, I kind of agree with it.
And Lionel Luthor was never blind.
I don't know how I feel about all this.
Over in the DP, Chloe and Jimmy begin receiving piercing signals as the effects of Zod's satellite pulse rushes over the entire world. Back in Dune, Clark continues to get his ass handed to him until Raya convinces Zod's disciples to let her finish the job. Instead, she kills Namek and provides a distraction that allows Clark to escape through the gateway back to Earth, sacrificing herself in the process.
I thought that was a great thing because when
That was awesome.
Yeah.
whatever that bait and switch was, it got me.
Yeah. it got
Because
me.
she was like, hey, this guy can get us out of here. And I was like, oh. And then she did that. And I was like, oh,
It was cool.
yeah.
I liked it. And I liked that whole world. That was dope looking. Clark returns to Earth in time to save his mother and Lionel from the Kent barn collapsing on top of them, which I thought was a great moment.
Yep.
Revealing you and she's like, Clark. As Kansas continues to collapse, Clark super speeds to the Luthor mansion to confront Zod one-on-one. He heat blasts the virus, sending the pulse across the globe, and then hugs it out with Zod as they fly through the sky. I love this sequence. This was the best sequence of the show. I mean, through the forest and fights, they were larger than life. The scope was enormous. It was major motion picture stuff, especially for that time. They land in a forest, continue their super fight after continuing to get the crap beat out of him. Clark tells Zod that he will die defending her. Zod tells Clark to bend the knee in order to save the ones he loves. Kneel to Zod.
Yeah.
Clark reluctantly drops down, but when he grabs Zod's hand, it's revealed that he was holding Raya's crystal. This causes Zod to be expelled from Lex's body and trapped within the Kryptonian emblem. And over in the overrun medical center, Kent Medical Center. Clark stops by to check on the damsel in distress, not Lana, but Lois. Despite her horrific plane crash, she only has a cut on her chin and shares her near-death euphoric experience with Clark.
Oh yeah, that when she's like, there was a fortress of ice. He's like, I think, are you hallucinating?
I think you got brain damage. CTE.
I think you got this.
You get the CTE.
Just again with the lies.
You down with CTE?
Hey, do you guys
know me.
remember
Welsh.
the day where you were filming that, where you had to like be on a green screen and do the flying thing?
I don't remember.
Which flying thing?
The one we're
Where you had to
fighting?
be like hugging each other, like staring at each other flying.
I don't know how I don't remember how they did that. I know there had to be green screen of us flying, but then there also was like, it was a lot.
I know how they would have done it, but I don't remember doing it. I blocked it.
Gotcha.
I think most of it was like, you
Trauma.
know, at the forest in the, and then when they needed like me flying in, they would get like something.
Well, we had
to
that
cut
one
in.
stage that kind of doubled as the Fortress of Solitude, and that's where they would kind of move that and put up the green screens.
Yeah.
And I would imagine the two of us were probably like this, and they're like, the funny thing is we fly sideways, but I don't think we would have filmed it that way. We probably would have filmed it horizontal, and they would have just switched it.
Maybe flip the
It's
screen.
a horrible story. It's like, let me tell you a joke, but I forget the punchlines.
Yeah, I don't know.
Lex takes off the trench coat and stops by the hospital to check on his damsel in distress. Lana is shocked that he doesn't remember anything, but based on her track record with forgiving Clark, she doesn't mind letting this go with her new bald BF.
Yeah, she still looks. I don't think that's that cool of her, because it's like, you know, she can't blame Lex because he was flying, he was doing all these things. It wasn't him, but I guess she has to be, you know, suspicious of it. Like, do you not remember anything? He's like, no, I don't remember anything.
It's because she's playing him, dog.
She's playing him. I don't know.
Clark stops by the DP to check on Chloe after their goodbye kiss and avoids being involved in another love triangle now that Jimmy is in the picture. Clark is taken aback when he sees Jimmy, probably because he fought his twin in season 1, but he puts that aside to welcome in the new photographer.
Genius, Bryce. Genius.
It's like, nah.
Later that night, Clark returns home to find his mom cleaning up the destroyed Kent barn. They're optimistic about things returning to normalcy now that Jarrell is out of their lives, but Clark is left with a sense of emptiness with the dissolving relationships around him. And the episode closes as we see Lionel continuing his Kryptonian scribbles that spell out power, Lex finding the broken virus artifact inside his office, and a closing shot of an escaped Kryptonian phantom that landed on Earth during Clark's escape.
I mean, listen, we always talk about John Glover being great. It really felt like maybe he did learn how to draw that, because it would look.
Oh yeah,
it was seamless.
Yeah.
The edit.
Yeah.
I bet he did.
I bet he did. That's it. That's him. Closing thoughts. Does Lex nearly ending the world cause him to self-reflect a little and take it easy for a while?
He doesn't remember it.
Yeah, I guess he doesn't remember, but he knows what he did because he's hearing from other people what he did.
Mm-hmm.
So, and with Chloe being interested in Jimmy and Lana stuck to Lex, does this finally push Clark to Lois?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like that's kind of the idea. And what in the world is Lionel Luthor up to? So when he says he lost his power and all that stuff, he was lying?
I think he did lose his power, but he didn't lose his knowledge. And I think that's when he's doing the Kryptonian. There's something in there that he remembers, but I don't think he has abilities anymore.
I don't know. There's a lot of great stuff in here. A lot of great
Big
stuff.
episode.
Interesting things to note. The image of Zod's face being extracted from Lex's body is that of Terrence Stamp. I noticed that with the beard.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. The scenes of the satellites in space can also be seen in the film Batman and Robin, a film that John Glover had a cameo appearance in.
Oh, cool.
And Pascal Hutton, Raya, was also in season 4's Ageless. Talkville is brought to you by Quince.
Ooh.
If you don't know Quince, you are missing out. If you want some great stuff, great clothing, I got this cashmere sweater for $50. I really did. It is beautiful and it is comfortable. And look, with Quince, you can treat yourself to true quality at an affordable price. Something everyone needs in their closet. Like I said, Quince's iconic Mongolian cashmere sweater, which starts at $50. Their super soft fleece sweatpants are a major upgrade to whatever you're lounging in right now. And when it comes to winter, it's like survival of the fittest out there. And as for me, Ryan, I'm willing to do or buy whatever I can to stay cozy. For the ultimate cold weather necessities made from premium materials, you have got to check out Quince.
Their wind-resistant, responsible down jackets are perfect for keeping warm.
No matter what you're looking for, Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands.
By partnering directly with the top factories and cutting out the cost of the middleman, Quince passes the savings on to you.
Quince only works with factories that use ethical and responsible manufacturing practices, and they use premium fabrics and finishes for that luxury feel in every freaking piece. Luxuriate in coziness without the luxury price tag. Go to quince.com/talkville for 365-day returns plus free shipping on your order. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/talkville to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/talkville. All right, well, now it's time for our lovable patron. This is a top-tier patron who supports the podcast, and hopefully you will too. And thanks for listening and watching. And let's get into it. Brian, thanks for being here. How many times have you seen the series?
Probably 2 or 3. I think this is my 3rd time through the whole thing. I watched it as it aired, and then my siblings and I watched it before season 10, up to season 9, obviously.
What do you love about it?
I just think you guys and now Tyler and Bitsy are the most relatable versions of Superman. I'm a year older than Smallville's Clark, so I felt like we were going through a lot of the same things, like pining over a girl, making mistakes.
Puberty.
And I think that you guys just made it feel so real. Just the acting and the writing and the effects, and it was very cool. And you guys inspired me to want to be a writer too. So this has been really great to then come back. And I think that the Smallville is, it's aged really well. I think coming back here, I'm seeing other things that I relate to in a different way now, and like recognizing the other things that I was going through and stuff, and like I can relate to on this pass through. So that's been very cool.
What was your favorite season?
I think season 9, 3, and 10 are my favorites.
Oh, so 2 of the 3 seasons without me. I get it.
Sorry. It did take a big hit when you left. But I think 9 is very coherent and 10 ends things very well.
Nice.
But you're absolutely the best, Lex. I mean, come on.
Thank you, man. How? Let me ask you this: have you ever gone to a Smallville convention, or do you plan to?
I haven't actually been to any conventions. I saw you guys are coming to Orlando in February. Maybe I will go to that one, but I'm not sure, like pricing wise and stuff.
Get your ass on the cruise, man. Get your ass on Cruiseville. We're taking a cruise.
I think it's funny that you know 3 was still the kind of the freak of the week world. Michael and I talk about how season 5 was such a transition because everybody kind of grew up a little bit. And in some ways, I think Smallville was 2 different shows, 1 to 5, and then, 6 to 10. I think the second half almost could have been called Metropolis. Like there was a very big difference between the 2. So the fact that you kind of take, the 9 and the 10 and the 3, I thought was interesting.
I think what I liked about 3, its season arcs are all built out of the character stuff with Lex and his dad, and then Clark dealing with what he did in Metropolis. So I think that those, and like I said in the episode review for today, season 5 held together a lot stronger for me this time. I think that is right. The storylines, like with the Freak of the Week and everything, do mesh a lot better than they did like the first time through.
Right.
But I still thought that season 3's built out of character a little bit more than season 5 is. I'm not a big fan of how much the show kind of is against Clark in season 5. In terms of like the whole deal with Jor-El, like Jor-El never had to take his powers in the first place. And so then Clark is like and he was only late because he was getting Lana to the hospital. It wasn't like he was messing around or anything.
Right.
And then it's like, Jor-El's like, oh, well, now you're dead because I took your powers, but this is all your fault. And like, it's totally fine for Clark to make mistakes and things, and that he should. But like, I feel like the show was also against him in that moment. And I was like, that's a little unfair. It seems like Jor-El was like his Lionel in terms of how Lionel relates to Lex and stuff.
Yeah, it's very, very Kryptonian of Jarrell to
Yeah.
just be that sort of Zod. Zod is that way.
Yeah, kind of just like too harsh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you like this first episode of season 6? Is it one of your least favorite? Well, how does it stand in the kind of the feeling of premieres episodes?
I think it's a great start. Like to that point about Clark and responsibility, I think that it is what will grow out of him coming out of the Phantom Zone and all the other Phantoms being released. It's a much more like mature, like this is Clark's decision to stay and deal with this thing that he caused. Instead of it being forced on him by Jarrell or somebody. I think that Lana and Lex, having like recognized that they are very similar, that they were both like, they would have killed someone they loved to save everybody else. I think that the darkening of Lana is very interesting. We get Jimmy. You got that moment in the hospital with Clark and Lois, where they have like this almost like, oh my God, we're holding hands.
Yeah.
Little tease.
Do you suspect that Lana is playing Lex this whole time?
I don't. I like a thing that you've said in the past, that she's getting everything she wants from Clark, but from the wrong person. I think that's what's going on, and I think that she views like open and honesty and trust and secret as like the key to a perfect relationship. And I think that as long as she thinks that she's getting that from Lex, then that's what this relationship is. But it's already starting out with like manipulation, and it's just not going to end well.
Lastly, did you have someone special or memories of watching this show with someone, or do you still watch it with someone, or is it something you just did on your own?
I watched it with my siblings, my brother and sisters, and then and we would talk about it. And then this was also the first show that would opened me up online to talking about it with like complete strangers.
Nice.
On Krypton's site.
Yeah.
And I think, and we would go over like
Shout
the
out to
spoilers
Krypton
and
site.
everything,
Shout out,
and speculate on where things are going. I'm pretty sure that's probably what got me into like wanting to write and stuff.
I love it.
That definitely like puzzling everything out, probably played a role in that.
What's your lastly, this is really lastly.
You're good.
What is
Final.
what do you give this one in the Rosenbaum rating system? Be honest.
A 2? Probably.
A 2 rows. Well, we appreciate you, Brian. We really thank you for being a patron and supporting this podcast. And thanks for coming on and being a fan.
Yeah.
And just being cool,
course.
dude. Thanks for talking to us.
Yeah, no problem.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Tom, you and I always talk about how important therapy is. I know you're married, so it's not all roses all the time. And if you don't have anybody else to talk to, I mean,
it's funny.
It's like you get bottled up. It's like we need to talk to people. And
Yeah.
why not talk to a professional, someone who's objective, someone who could help you through this stuff?
Well, and so often it's hearing hearing yourself say things that is a majority of, because you keep it in. You don't know how you feel. You don't know. But when you say it out loud, a lot of times it really helps.
It does.
To have
It
somebody who
helps.
can then guide you.
Yeah.
Because they don't tell you what to do. They
No.
help you guide. They're coaching.
And what's great is a lot of people fear this, but you could do it. It's entirely online.
Yeah.
And you could change therapists like that. It's not hard. So if you don't like your therapist, it doesn't have to be awkward. It's gone.
Right.
New therapist, free. What do you want your 2025 story to be? Well, every January brings you 365 blank pages waiting to be filled. In 2025, maybe you're ready for a plot twist, or maybe there's part of your story you've been wanting to revise.
Yeah.
Life isn't about resolutions that fade by February 1st. It's about picking up the pen and becoming the author of your own life. Think of therapy as your editorial partner, helping you write new chapters and create the meaningful story you deserve to live.
Therapy is helpful for learning positive coping skills and how to set boundaries.
It helps empower you to be the best version of yourself. And it isn't just for those who've experienced major trauma. It's helpful for everyone. BetterHelp is fully online, making therapy more affordable and convenient, serving over 5 million people worldwide. Access a diverse network of more than 30,000 credentialed therapists with a wide range of specialties. Easily switch therapist anytime at no extra cost.
Write your story with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/talkville to get 10% off your first month.
That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/talkville. talkville.com/talkville. Talkville is brought to you by AG1. You know how much I love AG1, how much Tom loves AG1. We got Ryan to AG1. We gave him a bunch of free stuff, and this stuff really works. If you're taking tons of vitamins every day, you can just take one glass of AG1, one scoop with water, mix it. It's delicious. And you're getting so much. You're getting probiotics, prebiotics, and so many of the vitamins and minerals you need. And for me, it gives me so much energy and clarity. I can't deal without it. Look, most resolutions are hard to maintain, but AG1 is one of the easiest things you could do for your health. Make it the one habit you'll actually stick with. You know, to me, there's so many gifts you can get somebody for the holidays and even gifts during the year that why not give them a healthy gift like AG1 to start a healthy routine, which could change their life. Mm-hmm. I have a friend who's always drinking sodas and eating poorly and not taking vitamins or not. So I gave him a bunch of AG1. I go, just take it. Just take it in the mornings. Instead of having a soda, just try this. It tastes good first thing in the morning. And he's like, dude, I got to tell you, I definitely feel like a little more energetic during the day, a little more focused. And so it's, you know, it's 2025. It is time to change the game. You know, you can go on in life and just continue to go down that road of like, I'll get back. I'll get around to it. But if you start doing something healthy and you turn that into a habit, because that's exactly what bad habits are. This is the opposite. If you do start a bad habit, you just keep doing it. You do it once, you do it twice, you fall into this habit. But if you start taking things that are good for you and make that a habit, try AG1. Just try it and see that it works. It really, really helped me.
So this new year, try AG1 for yourself. It's the perfect time to start a new healthy habit, and that's why we've been partnering with AG1 for so long.
And AG1 is offering new subscribers a free $76 gift when you sign up. You'll get a welcome kit, a bottle of D3K2, and 5 free travel packs in your first box. So make sure to check out drinkag1.com/talkville to get this offer. That's drinkag1.com/talkville to start your new year on a healthier note. Now it's time for the hotline. Talk. All right, you guys know you're excited about this hotline because I'm excited about it. I want to hear these questions. Here's Michael P, patron privilege.
What's up, guys? Michael P from Texas. Listen, congrats again on the season 6 premiere. I was talking to a buddy of mine about this season, and he had a really great question I wanted to share with you all. In fact, he's here with me right now, if you don't mind. I think you know him. His name is Raj.
Raj.
Hello there, gentlemen. Mike and I, as fellow Smallville nerds, were reflecting on the show and remember that this was actually the season the show transitioned from the WB to the CW. So we were curious if you guys remember anything interesting from that transition between the networks. Thanks, guys.
I just remember it was kind of a new regime, but it was, you know, we just continued to do the show the way we were doing it.
Nothing
changed for us. But yeah, nothing changed. Nothing changed, but nice to see you guys. Here's Leanne.
I think somehow the guest stars will be hotter.
Yes.
Somehow.
I was always worried I was going to get fired.
Hey guys, it's Leanne P now from Santa Barbara. I have a question about the episode ZOD. All right, Michael, now you've been very honest that you have kept the really cool long black leather jacket, but there are so many other cool props in this episode, and I was wondering exactly how many of those happen to make it into your possession. Thanks.
Well, I got a lot of stuff, but you know, the ship key and a bunch of other stuff and glasses that Lex drank out of and the water he drank out of, the little bottles. But the Lex coat, the ZOD coat, that's one of Zod's coat that he wore. It's not the leather one, but I have that.
The toy doll picture, I love that story.
Oh yeah, I don't know where that is anymore. I think it got destroyed. Here's some voicemails, Regina and Michelle. Let's go to them.
Hi, my name's Regina, and I'm Michelle, and we're from Cobram, Victoria, in Australia. Our question is for Season 6, Episode 1. Our question is for Michael. Do you think Lex remembers anything while being possessed by Zod? We can't wait to see you at Cruiseville! Bye!
Cruiseville!
Oh,
They're
man.
going to Cruiseville. Hell yeah, ladies. I don't know if he remembers anything. I don't think he does, but maybe something will come back. I don't know. We don't know. Cruiseville. Andrew, what you got for us? You'll hear.
Hi, this is Andrew from Phoenix, Arizona, and my question is for Tom on season 6, episode 1. What knowledge or history did you know of the Phantom Zone, and how did that help you prepare for Clark being kind of lost there, if there was any? Thanks. Love the show, guys. Bye.
Yeah. The answer is I had zero information or did any research. So, and that helped the character because he didn't know. And it's kind of a reoccurring thing that I say. The show is like my lack of knowledge helped with Clark because he didn't
naivete, baby.
Yeah.
This is Nathan.
Rosie, Tom, Ryan, Sir Ryan. It's Nathan from Boston, Massachusetts.
What up?
Michael, I've always been drawn to your performance of Zod, and as a big fan of Superman 1 and 2, I saw a lot of parallels. Can you talk about your process in getting into character of Zod? And I also want to say your chemistry between you and Clark's fight scene. You guys you built something special, and it shows in that fight. You guys have really good chemistry between each other.
You rock, Nathan. I didn't know anything, no preconceived, ideas or, watching things and getting ideas. I didn't know anything. I just knew that this guy was larger than life. He was an alien, and I tried to play him just stoically and very, as a matter of fact, and not emotional, just sort of, pragmatic, or just this is what I'm going to do. And I just hoped it worked, and I hoped the direction was good. And so I didn't know. I didn't know what to do. I just kind of winged it. I really did. But thanks, dude. And yeah, our chemistry was awesome. That fight scene was just do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Here's Bob Knutson, AG1. He uses it. Is he going on the cruise?
Hey, guys. Knutson, New York. Season 6, Episode 1, Zod. I've got a question about the ending scene with Lois at the hospital. Tom's use of facial expressions always gets me. Been great. So the scene, I think, is a great example of the visual communication. The hand-holding cut where you both retract is great. The question, is a scene like this shot with multiple cameras in one take, or does it highlight the importance of good editing? Talk to you soon.
Good editing.
I would say good editing. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're on her, they're on you, and then they get a close-up of the hand or a tilt up or whatever it was. But yeah, we never use two cameras, and we don't shoot, block shoot or shoot in multiple directions. In other words, we don't face one actor and face the other actor. It rarely happens because lighting is so different.
At the same time, yeah. Well, the other thing is, I don't know about you, but a lot of times I would be asked, do you want us to film you first or the other actor first? And I always kind of lean toward the other actor.
Yeah, it's, why? I know why.
Why?
Because you're going to get so much from their performance that when it comes back on you, you'll know what to react to, because they might not always do that when you're doing it first.
Right.
They've confined themselves. So whatever they do, when they cut to you, you're reacting to everything.
I'm a little more informed.
Because sometimes as an actor, if they go first, the other person goes first, I find things. And if I go first, I'm doing shit, and then they do it, and they've changed their performance a little. I'm like, what the freak are you doing?
I would have done something else.
I would have done something else.
Yeah. All of a sudden, they film you, and then they flip the other person, and all of a sudden they start crying, and you're like, what?
Yeah. Always let the other person go.
Yeah.
Unless you're exhausted and just want to get through it. All right, here's Stephanie.
Hi, Tom. Hi, Michael. This is Stephanie from San Diego.
This question's for Ryan.
It's one of my favorite episodes. It's always fun to see the character becoming someone who's completely different when they're possessed or things like that. But my question is for Michael, because I normally you don't really work with wires that much. And how was it that day on set when you had to fly down and land? Because I just wanted to know, how was it compared to, your normal wire work that you did
It's really
on
hard.
Episodes?
It's hard. It's an art. And
it's not comfortable.
It's not comfortable. And it was like my jacket was moving in one direction. I was twisting around. It wasn't fluid sometimes. It felt stupid. Tom was laughing at me. It took a few takes. But.
Well, and then, because we've talked about this story before, and then I'm watching the episode, and it's a half a second.
It's a half a second.
That took us
moment.
3 hours to shoot.
Yeah. I was like thinking, oh my God, sometimes you just got to, if they say we're good, just trust it. Don't, at that point I was like, I don't know how they're going to make this work, but it worked. Here's Shane.
Hey guys, this is Shane from Michigan. I have a question about season 6, episode 1, Zod. Tom, Michael, I'm just curious, what goes through your head when you're punching as a superhuman? Are you staying in character, or are you just hoping you're not going to punch this person in the face by missing your mark? Thanks, guys. Bye.
I mean, safety first, right? But like,
you gotta learn how to punch for the camera, and a lot of times we're not as close as it seems like. I've worked with a couple actors who get a little excited and they lean in, and you kind of have to.
You're
hey,
like,
buddy,
whoa.
you can actually punch like a hand length in front of me. You don't actually have to swing at my face.
Yeah, when people are sort of like unhinged or like they don't have that ability to sort of process and be like not professional, but to take like, hey, this is what you have to do.
Stage fighting.
Like, yeah, forget your emotions right now. You have to stay at this length. And you're excited and you want it to be real, and you just have to be really careful, because if you hit the guy, then the scene's over.
There was I'll tell you a quick story. I don't know what season it is, but there's like a gladiator moment where Clark holds up a shield, and you practice like, I'm going to go like this. Like, I'm going to go here. This is where I'm going to go. And the stunt guy went in and hit his face on the shield. I hit my mark.
Did he get cut?
Broke his nose. Broke his own nose.
Right in front of you?
Yeah. Like,
do you feel bad?
Of course I did. And
did you go to the hospital? You could die with a broken nose.
I don't remember what we did, but I know it like exploded his nose, and I think the director was like, "Okay, what are we gonna do now?" But I was like, I didn't move. Like he just went in too far. It's you feel horrible, but like
that's why safety first, man. Here's Fatima.
Hi, this is Fatima calling from Pakistan.
Fatima.
Tom, how did you film the scene when Clark returns to Earth, the Phantom Zone, and crash lands in the field in the season 6 premiere episode entitled ZOD?
Thanks, Fatima.
I think at this point we'd gotten to be such a good production where it was, they would ask me to do something, and I, like you talked about, I had faith that they had a plan. Like the Phantom Zone didn't look like that when we filmed it. It was brown and dusty, and it was a quarry. And then you see it on screen and it's blue and there's more wind and all these other things. You have to trust that there's been a lot of meetings about what it's going to look like. You just have to perform your part.
All right, Rosenbaum rating system. Ryan, what, do you got to look at your phone to decide this? I asked him, and he grabs his phone for a second, puts it down, grabs his headphones. He's like, he's unsure.
You want me to go first?
It's uncertainty. Look, did you enjoy the episode?
Let me get situated here. I got a lot of things to grab. I got papers. I got the notes
Ryan's
on my phone.
Got a lot.
Listen.
Well, you're a Ryan-tist. You're supposed to be together.
Yeah, that's not true. 2. I'm going to give this a 2.
2 roses. Tom.
I think 2. I think there's a lot in here. There's a meaty episode.
I'm going to go 2. That's a 2 all around. I think it was an enjoyable episode. I enjoyed it. And I didn't want to enjoy it. I was going through a little rough time, and I had to watch it, and I was like, and I kind of enjoyed it. Took my mind off it. Death and save count. 2 dead. Nemec gets shanked. Raya gets killed. 6 saved. Jarrell saves Martha and Lois. Raya saves Clark. Clark saves Lana. Clark saves Martha and Lionel. Series 179 dead. 196 saved. Ryan's favorite scene.
Oh boy. All right. Scene 1, the opening where Clark crash lands. Scene 2, Lana tries to seduce Zod. Mm-hmm. And scene 3, the super fight between Zod and Clark.
Super fight.
Yeah, there's no question.
Yeah. That was easy. Look, we're back. We're grateful you're with us. And thanks so much. That's it for the episode. Stick around next week as we bless you and talk about season 6, episode Sneeze. I thought I was going to kind of hate this one, but we'll get into it. Let's take the discussion online. Let us know your thoughts on the episode over on our socials at Talkville Podcast or Talkville Pod. Show your support for the podcast by joining Patreon at patreon.com/Talkville. And if you want more info like merch from the show or our hotline number, you can find that all in the description. And remember, folks, always hold on to Smallville. I'll see you boys later. All right, now it's time to read the top tiers. And with me is Ryan, not Tom.
Yeah.
A lot of crazy stuff going on. So Tom's going to read the top tier names with me. We love you dearly, and thanks for supporting us.
Except Tom's not going to do it. I'm going to do it.
Yeah, Ryan's going to do it, and you love Ryan just as much. Patreon.com/Talkville and become a patron. Get your name shouted out.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Leanne, Raj C, Santiago M, Little Lisa, ThomasTomTurner, Shane W, BetsyD, Abhi P, Rae H. I messed that one up. Rae H. KarenApple M, 99 more, Leilani N, Brett G, always holding the Smallville, Charlie T, Garrett W, Bob K, Tom N, Jason W, Lana rhymes with banana W, Nancy D, Brian G, Grape Jelly 817. Why do you make it hard for me? YVRGrips, Amanda R.
Teddy127, Michael P, Ryan R, Randy B, Craig G, Jor L, Heather and Greg, Grether, I made Talkville say butts, Brian H, Eric K, Clarks M, Kristen B, Jeff and Nan Weber.
Jeff Nan.
There's an exclamation point.
Darth Achilles. Thank you. Early is on time. Damn, who's that? Jeanette E, General Zod, Jam and J, Doug R, Carlos C, Tommy Z, Boston 68, Kendall Emmerich I, Corey L, Mr. Home Arcade, Claire M, D Brown, KarenApple M, Jules M, Eldon Supremo, Brian P, McBurts, Ginger Moose, Christoph S, Michelle M, 121 gigawatts, Leah W.
Amanda Lynn, Sebastian F, Wolfie, Matthew,
Wolfie.
Lincoln B,
Matthew,
Minkin,
Charlene A,
Marion Louise L, Caesar G, Cindy C, Shannon Fofanen, Tina E, Matt Maverick, Jen T, Randy S, Cassie B, Brad A, Felicia R, Danny Mo, Mirabal, Mary K, Sophie L.
Rachel D, Stephen A, Danger. When you're rich, you aren't crazy, you're eccentric. Rosenbaum fan, Sammy Sharman. Remember who squeezed the Charmin? That was an old commercial back in the day. Anyway, Carrie Ann, the Alexander Castle, Daryl E, Jen B76, Anna B, Ms. M, Emily M, Jeffrey K, Katja C, previously on Smallville, Keith B, Cookie Carrium. Oh yeah, Libertaria, Danny Z from Cleveland, Biagio C, Lady J, David L, Madison H, as told by Helen, Kelowna A, Natalia, Dr. J, Six Sheep Sick. Thank you. Dr. G and Dr. T, Kryptonite, Brandon C, Flirtatious B, Persix, Kurgan K, Naman L.
Smallville for life, Bobby B, Kendrick F, CC Storm, Stacy L, Oh Brother Darrow,
Other Brother Darrow,
Melanie P, Starla S, Charlie M, Cheyenne F, Bobby and Issa from Queens.
AJ Shiza, Heather H, Tom and Michael's friend Mickey, Allison C, Kieran H,
Mm-hmm.
Karen H, yes,
Mm-hmm.
Jill and Brett. Thanks, Jill and Brett. You're also inside of you. You're also supporting Patreon for Inside of You. Thank you, and so many of you are. Jill and Brett, the real Chucky B, Hubs, real
Diosmar,
Real Diosmar, Una. Happy birthday, Eduardo. If we messed anything up, sorry. All right. We love you and thank you. We'll see you next week. Thanks for the support.